All right, guys. So thank you for coming back. Welcome back to Everything Business. Today, I'll be looking at the 2022 Principles of Accounts paper. I'll be providing the answers for question 1, right? It's a lengthy paper, and if I should do a video with the entire paper, then it would be too long, right? It would be too lengthy, right? So I'm going to do question by question, all right? I'm going to do a playlist, so you can check out the playlist, all right? My last upload was the second part of the 2022 POB paper, so you might want to check that one out, all right? So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so last year's paper, right, the first question, question 1, it stated that it was a petty cash question, right? So the petty cashier for TD Salon was given $1,500 on the 1st of April 2022 to start a petty cash book, which will be maintained on the Impress system. So right off the bat, this $1,500, right, is what they would call the float. I just want you to recognize that. That is what we would call the float, right? So it is the float, this $1,500, right? It says analysis columns are provided in the petty cash book for stationery, cleaning supplies, and wages. And during the month of April 2022, the following transactions occurred. All right, and then they give us the transactions here. Now I'm going to reduce the screen so you can see the solution. So as you can see, they provided, as you can see, they provided the draw up, right? Which is good. It helps you guys, right? You write in a heading. It's important for you to write in a heading. And the float, right? The float would have been on the debit side of the petty cash, $1,500. Right? And then all the other transactions are pretty much straightforward, right? So April 1, purchase mop buckets, cleaning supplies, right? You just put that there. Always remember when you're doing petty cash book that the totals column you must enter the information twice. One, then the figure twice. In the totals, once in the totals column and also under the analysis column. So for cleaning supplies, 180, I put that in the totals column, and I also put it under the cleaning supplies column right there. So April 12, you bought stationery, 365, you use the analysis column and the total column, right? April 14, cleaner was paid wages, right? So obviously there is an analysis column for cleaner's wages, and you just put the information there. April 15, right? Bought envelopes, that's stationery, just the same, right? You would put the information, the figure on the stationery and also in the totals column. April 18, bought cleaning supplies for $261, right? April 29, right? Cleaner wages were paid $250, and you put in that information. All right. So, right off the bat, you would have been, you would have gotten a lot of marks already, right? This is 9 marks, and you would have gotten most of the marks already. So if you look at it now, guys, all we need to do is to add up the analysis columns, right? You put the totals there, you add up the total column, you get 1,484. And now students normally have difficulty or challenges balancing off the petty cash. So after you total the totals column, right? Then you're going to find the difference between the debit side, which is the 1,500, and what you have spent, right? And the difference is $16. So that's the balance carried down at the end of the period. And you have it right there. Now, both sides are equal, 1,500. So you can have that, the totals now, 1,500. The question did go on to say that you should total balance and rule the petty cash book at the end of the period, which we have just did. We just did it. And then the third requirement here says that we should record the entry in the petty cash book on the 1st of May to replenish the petty cash fund. So we're going to bring down our balance. If you have a balance carried down, we must have a balance brought down. For the next month, May 1, on the debit side, because the balance carried down was on the credit side. And then remember, under the Impress system, whatever you spent or whatever you spend, right, is what you need to reimburse the petty cashier with, which is 1,484. And there it is, right? So May 1, cash, 1,484. And that's 9 marks. All right? Very simple and very straightforward. All right? For persons who are interested in private tutorials, I do provide private tutorial services. So you can just hit me up, right, at my email, everythingbusiness876@gmail.com. All right. All right. So the second part of the question, part B of the question, actually. All right. So let's zoom in on part B. All right. So this is part B of the question. It says using the ledger account forms provided below to post the totals for the petty cash book at month end. All right. So what they're asking us to do is to use the analysis columns, right, to provide the ledger accounts for the analysis column, right? And because these are all expenditures, right, we know that all expense account must be debited. And so for stationery, we just put in the transactions that related to stationery. So you have the information here on the debit side, right? Cleaning supplies, right? And for cleaning wages, right? So the right here, you should have cash right here. Don't know why it didn't scan properly, but it was written in cash, should be in the details section, right? So this is very simple enough for 8 marks. All they are trying to see is if you understand double entry principles, all right? And this was very, very, very easy, all right? So let's move on to the other part of question 1, the last part of question 1, actually. So it says, the owner of TD Salon has asked you to prepare and sign the check to be given to Thury Francis, who is the petty cashier, right, to cash at the bank for purpose of replenishing the petty cash fund, right? And we should use the form below, right? So first and foremost, they ask you to give a check to Thury Francis. So all you need to do is just write up this check. So you write the date, right? You put in the name of the person and the amount of money, which is 1,484, and you put your signature there. This was 3 marks. This question 1, I mean, it is like too easy. On the difficulty scale, 10 being most difficult, 1 being very easy, I would say that this is like probably 2, right? Very easy. All right. So stay tuned for the next one for question 2. All right. And remember, I do private tutorials. Just reach out to me and we can set up something. All right. Wow, good.